So everybody who just joined, you now get access to the emojis, the Ohio State score emoji, the Connor Stallions emoji, the various Michigan ones. So enjoy that too while you're watching the show.
If you find any OSU trolls, just throw some emojis at them, let them know the deal.
Yeah,
let them know where they are.
That score one is the perfect one. That'll just make anybody quiet.
And now there's the smash from Sharon Moore. So there it is. Thanks, Cam, so much. Okay, without further ado, it's time to talk about Sharon's recruiting bonanza. So this is huge, and look, we've been saying just give it some time. Take a deep breath, go take a run, go have a beverage, and just wait, because Michigan heats up in June. And TJ, Michigan heated up in June a little bit. And how about this one from Tony Alford? I thought Tony Alford couldn't recruit, TJ. Well, how about this one?
Yeah, I mean, Tony Alford going in his bag in the sense of bringing somebody he had a former relationship with from Ohio State, his Ohio State days, bringing in a former elite premier running back who was previously, after his freshman year, regarded as like the next 5-star running back. He had a bit of a down sophomore year, and then unfortunately went through his ACL injury. But the update on that injury is he is 95% healthy, and he's already cleared to begin training. He did work out for Michigan. Michigan is comfortable with him. And as you can see in the video, listen, this kid is, in terms of physical stature and build, I mean, he is built for it. He's almost, I mean, he's not college ready, but he has you could tell he has the frame where he is going to be a very sound back at the college level. He just is going to, obviously, the senior year, and John, I don't even know if I discussed this with you guys yet, but me and the commenters over the videos I threw out this weekend have decided that during the regular season, either weekly or bi-weekly, I will be giving updates on all of our committed prospects, their progress, what's going on, and what the intel is there. So we'll be doing that. Look for that at the start of the high school football season. We'll start kicking that off. But this will be a player we will be focusing on, because he is a buy low, high upside player. Because what happened is all of his not all, but a lot of the top teams that were after him, and look at his stature there. Like, if you just look at his glutes and say, like, the kid's just built, man. Very strong player. But what happened is some teams cooled after the ACL injury because they wanted to see how he responded from the injury. Tony Alford in Michigan said, listen, we got Jasper Parker. Let's get him in here and let's build this running back room. Because you also have to remember, last year's recruiting class, Jordan Marshall and friend of the show, Micah Capana, are in that class. So the running back room is healthy. It's in a good place. And, I got a little flack on my commitment video saying that I didn't know what I was seeing. I was simply stating his freshman year had a higher quality of play. His sophomore year had a bit of a dip, and then he had an injury. We are in observation mode. I do think he's going to be a good prospect for the program. I am looking forward to watching him his senior year.
All right. Well, I listened to this. I listened to your video, TJ. Where would you put it? Is he a top 10 running back? Let's put it that way. Is he in the top 10 in your mind?
No, he's not right now because of his down year after sophomore year, and the problem is we don't have junior film, so we can't compare his play. His freshman year wasn't even at IMG; it was at another school. So we have to see how he responds. Yeah, he says he feels good. He says his leg's doing good. He's cleared to run and all this stuff. So I'm excited, man. I mean, I think he is a hell of an athlete. We just got to see it now translate his senior year. And I'll tell you this too, guys, be on the lookout, but I think we're good. If he has a big year this year, teams are going to be calling, okay? They're going to be calling, and they're going to be dropping McDonald's bags. But I do think because we got in early and we secured that relationship, I think we're going to be okay, but we'll see. Because we're going to have some updates later in the recruiting segment where, money seems to be a game changer. So we'll talk about that as we go.
Yeah, and very good point about the depth from the 2024 recruiting class as well. I am we're going to release a video tomorrow morning. I'm going to release a video on Smash the Numbers that really goes into all of the recruits that TJ is talking about and how they impact the depth chart. And running back position, we are in good shape. We even, obviously Donovan Edwards is leaving. Khalil Mullings is a senior, redshirt senior. So, there will be turnover in that position, but we have a new crop coming in.
Exactly. Yeah, and you got your Ben Hall, you got your Cole Cabana, you got obviously the kids we just talked about. So like it's a good stable of room. We got a bright outlook in the running back class or in the running back room.
Yeah. So and for, by the way, anybody who wants to really dive into each of these recruits, TJ over the weekend, and as they've been announced, has released a one-off video on each of them. So you can really look at some of the film. You can, like this guy, for example, his freshman year film looked pretty good, right? He was making some good moves there. I would, I mean, he was looking great. Probably 5-star talent at that point.
Yes.
And with the injury, it went down a bit. So it remains to be seen. But I'm glad Tony Alford got him in, and he had to look. This wasn't like a walk in the park either. Like he had offers from Bama, he had offers from Georgia, he had offers from Ohio State, from Tennessee. These are major NIL powers and SEC and Big Ten schools that Michigan had to beat for this recruit.
Yeah, but I do want to stress these teams wanted to see him senior year. They cooled a little bit. They pulled back. So Michigan worked him out. Like that has to be stressed. Michigan has worked him out. They are happy with what they see, which is why they made him a take. So that's what it is. They want to get in early because they understand if he does boom his senior year, we could be looking at a top 100 type player. Like that's the upside here. This is a buy low, high ROI type of player.
Real quick before we move on, I did want to just say hi to Maze Madmen. So I don't know if anybody's. Yeah, we got a celebrity in here. Anybody who's been watching the Michigan YouTube, this guy's got a great show. So we really appreciate you stopping by a lot. Yeah, so thank you for that.
He puts in work.
He really does. Game recognized game. So hey. So I was about to fire off on Ron Bellamy. People were excited for that. I hate to disappoint, but I'm easing up a bit. Okay. This was great. 4-star wide receiver Jacob Washington commits to Michigan. TJ, what does this mean for I mean, walk us through Jacob Washington and like what he brings to the table.
Yeah, so this is our X-type wide receiver. I mean, listen, I love this kid. Okay, so we lost Porter to OSU. We mentioned this. See, this is what I like. Everyone who follows our show, they know this. We're on top of this. We talked about this kid about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Jacob Washington, keep your eye on. This is the X wide receiver to watch, and we got him. Plays at the same high school as Jasper Parker. This kid can take the top off the defense. Look at his length. Look at his size. Extremely athletic player. Runs a 4.4 to 6.3. I mean, looking like he makes it look easy. And if you watch the videos I made in terms on the recruiting or the prospect breakdowns, you can see he makes it look easy, which is good. That's a good problem. And then he's a very patient, high IQ player, hands catcher.
With that separation.
Exactly. That's what I mean. He has a great burst. He has a great get out, from his stance. I mean, he just is an extremely good player. The thing for him, and like most kids, he's got to get in the weight room. He's got to get his size up, and that's going to happen, right? Because you got to be able to, if you can't run block, no rock, right? So that's how it kind of works. You got to build up, and he'll get there. Like this is a very good player, guys. Definitely a name to know. Definitely a kid to be looking. And I mentioned this in the video. This is going to be your Carter Smith, Brady Hart, connection. Like that's what we're looking at here. This is the future Carter Smith, Brady Hart connection right here. So. Great get. Very happy with this addition to the class. Very happy.
Yeah, and we really needed. I talked about the kind of the depth at the running back position in terms of the number of recruits. we haven't been getting that many. I know there may be some other ones that we're talking about in a few minutes here, but we haven't been getting that many wide receivers. And I kind of have a line. It's just when you watch my thing tomorrow, you'll see kind of like this dotted line. And are they above the line or below the line? If they're below the line, maybe they're close, but they haven't come on board with Michigan yet. They're not a hard commit. So we need to move some of these wide receivers above the line. Very happy to get Jacob Washington into the fold. We've got Lamarion Stewart, Channing Goodwin in the 2024 class, so that's good as well. Just a question for TJ. In terms of he is a 4-star, but he is kind of like a mid 4-star. Do you think he's ahead of his rating?
Yeah. No, I think he's properly ranked. And the reason why is because, but I mean, he's good. Like, listen, there's going to be kids in the top 300 who are going to freaking bomb out. Like, I just think where he is in terms of athletically, in terms of his size, like, obviously, I'm not talking about height, I'm talking about weight and stuff. Like, he has to pack on some muscle. That's going to be a big thing for him. But I think around 300, I believe, is where he is in the composite. That's about right for me. I don't have any issue with it. This isn't a player where I'm like, the rating is not meeting the player. I'm happy with his rating. I see no issues with it. He's a very high upside player. I mean, don't get me wrong, though. Let me just stress this. He can outperform that rating, no problem. Like, this kid could be like a second round type wide receiver in the future. Okay. So like, and I won't even put a ceiling on him. If he can pull off first round, it can happen. Right. But I'm just saying, like, this is I fully expect this kid to be starting at the X position in about 2 to 3 years, possibly 3, because, the way the portal is and things like that. But you will see him donning the maize and blue, and you will see him starting on Saturdays one day. He's a damn good player.
So this might be a controversial take that blows up the chat. He kind of reminds me of like Antonio Brown at CMU. Or like I think that the way that he moves, he's not just running the basic routes, right? He's not just doing like one jump here, one jump there. He is fooling these players at another level that reminds me of some of the moves that AB made early in his career. Again, that might be too much, but I do think that this is the X receiver that Michigan needed when Quincy Porter went to OSU.
So the thing about Antonio Brown is he wasn't 6'3". Antonio Brown was a smaller receiver. But for me, like, the thing that I don't see, like, so with Antonio Brown, you need yards after catch. I'm not seeing a lot of yards after catch play. I'm seeing a lot of deep routes or medium to deep routes. And he's not like, like, he'll get the ball, but he's not like making a bunch of dudes miss. He's literally just pulling away, which obviously when you get to the D1 level, there's a lot of kids who are fast, right? So I mean, Antonio Brown would be the comp I would put out there. I don't have, on the spot right now, I'd really have to think about it to give like my most as accurate as I could. But I mean, for me, I wouldn't go Antonio Brown. I think they're different receivers. I mean, I think, but I mean, regardless, man, I mean, the kid's going to be, he's a good addition to the class, man. Ron Bellamy, hey, good job. We're going to talk about you more. There might be some handwritten letters and some flowers sent your way, especially with some of the news we got coming.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I have a random one, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, you can lead the Washington train just like the Fred Moore train, bro. It's all good. It's all good, man.
Absolutely. Before we move on to these wonderful, because there's a great story here, and I'm excited for us to tell it. But thank you to Super Genius for joining our leaders and best tier. Really appreciate that. Thanks for becoming a YouTube member. Super Genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
And man, enjoy the emojis.
Yeah, thanks for joining the community, man. Appreciate all of you, man. Like we just like launched the members about like 3 weeks ago, and we are just growing by the show. So like it's great. I mean, it's so much fun because like again, for all the new viewers, like where we are as a channel and where we are as a show, it's only the beginning. Like we have so much more planned, and some of it cannot be accomplished until the channel reaches certain levels in terms of revenue or other things. Because one thing we are trying to get to, and when I talked about this before, is there's going to come a point where we're going to be doing member giveaways, item giveaways. We got a couple other ideas in the hopper that we're working on. So like I just keep rocking with us and keep supporting us, and let's keep building this community. And I assure you, where we are now is not where we are going. So just shout out to everybody being a part of it.
Yeah, and we might talk more about Bellamy in the future. I said to everybody, I reserve the right to bring the topic back up. But I'm gonna put it on hold for a week, because this was a great pickup, and beating like 6'3", we needed a 6'3" bad. Like we needed somebody with some height. And I'm not saying he's top height, but at the very least gives you, as the quarterback, an option where the ball's not going to get batted, where you're not going to have to deal with that situation. You've got to, when you're looking at where you're going to throw the ball, it does help a little, when you have the height advantage.
Yeah. I do have a question, but we have so many people that are itching for other players, particularly wide receivers, to get an update. Let's go to that first, and I'll kind of talk about the wide receiver position a little bit later.
Well, we do have some additional commits.
Mm-hmm.
So TJ, how about Caden Strayhorn? How about that one?
So look, hey, we got a lot. You guys want recruiting? We got it. Okay, I'm hitting on everybody. So don't worry. We're gonna get to them all. We're gonna hit these commits first because we got them out of the weekend. So we're gonna give them some spotlight right now. So Caden Strayhorn is nasty, bro. Is nasty. His dad was nasty, former defensive lineman from Michigan State legacy. You love to see him come to Michigan. I'm a big fan. So this Ferris is a player where the rating does not meet the player. And unfortunately, this kid only has clips and not full season highlights. So we're not going to show it because they're only like 45 seconds to a minute clips. But the reality of the situation, this kid is a top 2 center in the nation. This is largely agreed upon by like the analysts. He himself even claims to be the #1 center in the nation, but like literally, this is last year we had Jake Guerrera. This year we got Strayhorn. The center position, again, another position where it looks strong for the long-term future. He is nasty, guys. Like this kid plays with freaking attitude, and that is what we love with a smash. We got the smash offensive line, bro. And I just like, you'll see right here. This is from one game. This is when he was at Detroit Catholic Central, I think. But you'll see him like every play he's just throwing. Oh, this is IMG. So you got some IMG film. He was previously from Detroit Catholic Central, and then he transferred to IMG. But yeah, this kid, he just plays nasty. Like he plays after the whistle. It's some FU shit. Like I'm just gonna be real with you. Like you want to get pumped up, watch this kid's.
It's a Michigan. Look at that. Oh my God, that's like WWE.
Dude, he's nasty. He's just a nasty player, bro. And we love it. Like shout out, bro. Like Michigan has like a culture and has an identity, and you better be a dog, bro. If you're not a dog, you're not fitting in. And if you're not willing to work hard, you're not blue collar. It's not happening. And that's the difference. Like you got some of these high. Some people are like, oh, star chasing and this, and this. But like some of these kids are freaking divas. Some of these kids are drama. Some of these kids don't want to work hard. It's not for Michigan. That's the culture that, everyone says the Michigan culture. The Michigan culture is we put in work and we'll knock you out.
He's flipping more defenders than the House of Pancakes.
Well, you took my joke because I was about to say this is getting me hungry. I want to go to First Watch. I get the double pancake and kind of share it. The double pancake with chocolate chips. That's what got me.
I'm an IHOP guy, to be real with you, though. Give me some IHOP.
Yeah, and let's go back to the legacy there. I believe his dad was on the broadcast team, right, for MSU?
Yeah, I believe he still is a part of the broadcast team. Yeah, for MSU. So that's funny. Ha, take that. And let's also give a shout out to Avery Gash, who's also a MSU legacy. We now have 2 committed offensive linemen who are MSU legacies. So if that doesn't tell you about your state of the program, Spartans, I don't know what else will. You're not even getting the legacies. Like it's just, although it's a shame. I was telling John, and I brought this up before. We get a lot of Buckeyes in the comments. We do not get a lot of Spartans, dude. Like we do not. I want more Spartans. It'd be fun. It'd be nice to have some reasonable Spartans, but
Yeah.
those are even. I think those might be even rarer these days. I don't know. Or they're just in hiding, which I guess we understand. We get it.
That's fair.
It's hard out here, man.
We've got House of Pancakes, Western Omelet. I do get the kale smoothie to kind of balance out the chocolate chip pancake sometimes there. So at First Watch. First Watch is my place. So
I'm gonna have to try the pancakes at First Watch, bro.
They are good. Have you for a time there was the lemon ricotta.
Oh yes, I think they have that still. Yeah,
lemon ricotta was great. If they still have it, I'm gonna have to go back next time and get those again. Nick, YouTube member Nick, Sparty is dead. I won't report on what based on some of the reporting that I've been reading on the various things. Even the coaches, weren't really feeling good versus Michigan and others for recruiting. But maybe we'll report more on that when we have 2 or 3 sources backing it up. But apparently, they weren't feeling very confident, Coach Smith and that team. So. Maybe you're right, Nick. Maybe they're dead.
TJ, I'm going to go ahead and just ask my question because it was about the wide receivers. But you were kind of talking about the fit for Michigan. In the evaluation and ratings for wide receivers, how much do they factor in blocking, for example?
Good question.
Is that a factor, or
it's way more? It's way more athletic testing, and this is why, not really, man. That's a great question, Ferris, because. So what they do is they do these Under Armour, Adidas camps and Nike camps, right? And they just get these kids' testing numbers. And then what they do is they do look at the game film, but they also then look at their production. And then they generate the ratings. And here's the thing that frustrates me the most about the rating system. And I brought it up before. The rating system is based on NFL potential, not college. And that's bullshit, in my opinion. You should be rating these kids on what you think they're going to be like in college, but they're not. They're rating these kids on when they think they're going to be drafted. So anyone who's not familiar with this, if a kid's a 5-star, they're projecting him to be a first-round draft pick. If he's in the top 100, they're projecting him to be a day 2 draft pick. This is how they do it, and it's wrong in my opinion. So the athletic kids, even if they're not good, there could be better football players. And again, they're like, how does Michigan do this? Because here's why. You can be a better football player, but if you're not some Olympic track star, you're not getting that top. Not every player. This isn't for not everyone falls in that bucket, but there are kids who are more athletic than good, who are higher rated. That is the problem with the rating system.
Okay, one other quick follow-up question. I notice, and maybe it's just my perception, sometimes the ratings go up when OSU takes a player, or maybe Alabama takes a player, whatever. Yeah. Does that happen with Michigan? It doesn't seem like it happens with Michigan as much. Is that?
So there's some theories out there that Michigan gets a dip all the time, and I'll give you a great one. Jordan Marshall last year. Jordan Marshall fell in the rankings. Brady Prescorn fell in the rankings last year. Brady Prescorn, tight end freak, arguably the best tight end in the nation last year. He fell out of the top 100 because you know why? He stopped going to those camps. He didn't go to any camps in the summer. Once he committed to Michigan, he shut everything down, didn't want to do anything with it. He had some personal things he was going through. Nothing, just family things. And then Jordan Marshall, the same thing. Jordan Marshall only got faster. He ran sub-11 in 100 meters. He only became a better player. Played great last year, his senior year, and still dropped in the ratings. So I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. It seems like certain schools seem to do get a rating bump. I don't know why that is. And it doesn't make sense either because when it comes to these platforms, when they're rating systems, some of their largest brands are Michigan. So you would think it would suit them to have, for revenue purposes, to, I don't know, obviously we don't want anyone fluffing ratings up, but some of the players who are dropping, like Jordan Marshall, Brady Prescorn, and there's been others, it does not add up. These kids are legit. So I don't know. It's something, it's a theory that's out there, Ferris, that certain schools do get rating bumps, like Notre Dame. Notre Dame's one. Penn State is one that people talk about. For some reason, these kids jump. But, whatever, man. It is what it is. The rating system is not a science. It is definitely flawed.
That is very true. And And I think even with this next one, you know, move over Kentucky, move over LSU, move over Tennessee, move over USC. Sorry, Tim. Chase Taylor also also just committed to Michigan. It has been quite the couple of days for the program.
Dude, this is my guy right here, bro. Chase Taylor. I love this player. Like, I love this player, bro. Like, I really,
nice.
You know, as you know, if you could see in the video, the recruiting breakdown I did at Chase Taylor, I am excited for Chase Taylor. I believe in this player. He's going to be my Cole Sullivan of the class this year. I just think this kid will be, and you will see, a dog. And I put that in the title. He is a certified dog. If I put certain things in the titles, it's because that's really what I believe. I'm not trying to hype anything. I'm not trying to oversell anything. This is my observations. Some people will like him, some people won't like him, but I'm gonna do what I do. That's just what it's gonna be. So, but I mean, I don't even care. I don't care if he's ranked in the 500s. Look at his film, bro. This kid is legit. This is our will linebacker of the future. He is the lowest rated prospect in the class. And if you just watch his film, this is another one, Ferris, where the ratings do not meet the player. This is a top 300 player. I'd probably put him around 250 to 275 is where I would have him. I would rank him. He's a very good player. So whatever. Hey, Michigan's gained. Everyone else has lost. They can suck it. I don't even care. Like, it's one of those things where, you know, all you got to do is put the tape on. And I'm just glad we have a coaching staff that has that approach, because that's what matters for Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is right fit as well. You know, you know, hopefully this is a really good fit. I am enjoying the OSU fan thinking that we're crying over ratings.
Yes,
you know, Michigan beat OSU and won the Big Ten, and then they did it again, and then they did it again, and then they won the national title. With players that were rated lower. So either the ratings, or it might be a combination of both, Either the ratings were a little bit or a lot off on some of these players, and or Michigan can develop players OSU can't. So, I mean, I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah, they can't handle that, though. The weather, Ferris. It's the weather, bro. It's the weather.
Well, yeah, I mean,
or it's the quarterback, Kyle McCord.
Honda, McCord, and Connor Stallions. That's why they lost.
Yeah, wait till Will Howard's the next scapegoat. They got excuses.
And it was five. It was just 5 plays in 22. It was just 5 plays. That's all.
Yeah. I remember, you know, when the Tigers were not winning the World Series, but they had an awesome team, and if it wasn't for those 5 home runs, they would have won the World Series. So. Big Poppy and some other ones, right? So
that's great. Yeah,
hey,
the flu.
Better look next year.
And of course Nick coming in as he always does in the clutch here. With his, he is a YouTube member, and he gave us a super chat. This clearly means Ohio commits are fake 5 stars. Wow. Well, in some cases, I think that's true.
There's some validity to some of that. Some of those players are not. They definitely do not develop at. I mean, look at Zach Marshall. How'd that go? Or Zach Harrison. How'd that go? Remember that one? That was a Michigan Ohio State battle. What round did he get drafted?
Kidding.
How'd that go? Yeah, he didn't perform very well. Another 5-star, top 10 player in the nation. Yeah, Larry Johnson's doing a great job.
Just a little shout out to Nick. I love the way he hacks this the system. Puts in the $1.99 super chat. Feel free. Anyone who wants to do that, we'll read it. Mm-hmm. It's like the value meal version of super chat.
Hey, McDoubles are great. Okay, they're delicious. I have been trying to completely cut that out, and you know I've lost about 20-25 pounds at this point. But every once in a while, just drive right in, get a McDouble. So Nick, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
Bro, in college, the dollar menu was the shit, bro. Like the things you can get for $5 when the dollar menu was like popping, bro. Like that was A1. A1.
Now your only option is Costco hot dog with the drink.
So, hey, those are good hot dogs, though.
It's true. Just a quick reminder, help Mark out in Voice College Football Network. When you're doing your shopping on Amazon, go ahead and hit the link on any video in the Voice of College Football Network, and you can get Mark Rogers a couple of bucks, help support everything that we're doing. We also do have a merch store you can check out, and there is Michigan gear, so you can, for example, cheers to the Michigan Wolverines in the recent national championship, everything else. So go ahead and check that out if you'd like, and get yourself some merch. There's also 3 pages of Voice of College Football and top 25 that actually makes sense, and all of that good stuff. And Nick, it is the highest compliment. McDoubles are fucking bomb. It's a compliment. No, we love you, Nick. We love you.
Hey, John,
all right.
Super quick tip. Just take the top bun off of it. If and it's still reasonably okay. You're getting two patties that way, and cutting down the carbs a bit.
Oh, so you're saying like a hack? I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
One less bun. Okay.
I just go extra mustard, get a little extra zing in there, maybe some extra onions. I like the flavor, Okay, so with these 4 recruits, and also just some of the other commits that Michigan's been stacking up recently, it kind of brings us to a larger question about what has changed, because clearly something has. Michigan has now, on multiple occasions, defeated traditionally very powerful NIL programs for some of these commits. So there can't just be one thing. Everybody's pointing to one thing that this is about, but it's kind of a puzzle, right? So TJ, as the recruiting guy here, what would you say is one of or some of the factors behind what's been changing?
I don't think it's a puzzle at all. I think it's quite clear, and I think if anyone who's been watching the Voice of College Football knows what it is, it's not just NIL, which we'll talk about, but it's the whole, like we talked about. We've been talking about this. We've had you, anyone who's into recruiting, we have had you all the way from about March, all the way from portal players. We had all that from the NIL evolution, which was over 3 weeks ago before official visits even started. We had that. People doubted us. We had that. We told you it was coming. We told you it was unified. We told you it was improved. We had that. And then I told you what players we're locking in. I told you the direction most of this has gone. I've been pretty damn accurate about everything. I do have a miss coming, which sucks, and we'll get into that later. But the point is, what has happened and why we are evolving, why we are a more aggressive, a top 10 recruiting program in the nation right now. Because right now we are 15? We will be moving up closer in the next few weeks, especially from now until early July, which I'll have more on that as we go. NIL is definitely improved. This has made us competitive, but it's not just that. What it is it is a improved doubling of the recruiting department. Okay, he has doubled the recruiting department. There's over 20 people in the recruiting department staff. Also bringing in Aaron Dunston. Has anyone noticed the change in approach in one official visits to the graphics in terms of like the photo shoots that the players are now doing ever since she's been hired? I mean, it's already at an elite premium level. Like, what Sharon has done is he has now made the recruiting department and the entire philosophy and strategy, along with the NIL, along with the regents, along with President Santo, who spearheaded this, by the way. I've been told that he was the driving, like not the, but he was one of the most vocal driving forces in getting Michigan more competitive through NIL advancement. So, when you add all these things together, we now have a top 10 recruiting strategy right now in college football. I mean, are there teams that are going to outbid us? Yes. We are not the highest bidder. We're not. And listen, there's a player we're going to talk about where this is the case. We also saw this with Marquise Davis with Kentucky. We will not highest bidder anybody, but what we will do is be competitive. And here's the thing too. We do not offer the same. Some players will get more than others. Okay, this has been confirmed. I know this, and some players do get offered more than others. There are some kids they're willing to do more for, and But we are now a game player. Now, again, there are going to be players. There are going to be kids who are going to take the highest offer, and it is what it is. And guess what? Those kids are not Michigan kids because, and I don't want to say all of them because this isn't true, but a large group of those kids will be leaving anyways in the portal because guess what? They got agents, and their agents are going to be talking to teams and programs every single year to increase their damn payout. It's just going to happen. So the reality is Michigan's trying to build a strong foundation, strong culture while being competitive. And we are now seeing it. We are now moving into, and I know I'm running with this, a top 10 class for 2025. And last thing I'll say on this, and Ferris, take it, 2026 is going to be better. I'm going to let you guys know this right now. They are already strategizing for 2026. And Brady Hart is going to be who will be visiting the barbecue at the Big House at the end of July is going to be a big part of that. Just stay tuned, man. We will have you. Anything recruiting, we will have you. I promise that.
Yeah. First of all, Sharon Moore had to adjust to becoming a CEO. And it took a while to get all the ducks in a row. Obviously, Santa Ono is supportive. And if you don't think Santa Ono has a part in this, then look at what's happening with USC and, the lack of alignment, maybe, or what is the importance of the football program to USC? They're not in alignment with that. Michigan was in that kind of situation in the past. Let's just put it that way, right? So, there's this spectrum of transactional versus transformational, and that what Harbaugh used to say is that we are transformational, not transactional. Well, in that spectrum, we're not all the way to transactional like other schools might be, highest bidder, but we are not all the way we're just going to be transformational and you're just going to have to come to us. We're somewhere in between, right? So those are the things I think we are headed on the right track. It took Sharon Moore a little while, but I'm just amazed by what he has been able to do in a relatively short time. Being a top 15 class, maybe top 10 class in year one after everyone left is a big deal. I mean, I think I think he's accomplished a lot.